Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
So where do we go from here, knowing that collaboration is so essential to move our workforce and even our economy? How do we begin from this point?
It's a great question. And so one of the things that surprised me as I started working on collaboration was the notion that collaboration is capital. It goes beyond being nice. It is now a business imperative. So a company's collaborative capital, I think, and many others are now, or at least a group of people, leaders, are beginning to say it's of equal importance to intellectual and financial capital. So it's an essential company asset. It should be on our balance sheet. And maybe that's how we should redefine goodwill. I don't know, but that's how important it is. And so companies that don't collaborate are going to be without one of their most valuable assets. And it is going to be essential for survival. It will define the companies of the future. So back to what you said or asked about, why don't we collaborate, right? If it's so great, why don't we collaborate? And I think part of it is that we think that it's going to take more work. In reality, once you start and the process is in place, actually, you're more efficient, more effective. And so you're able to do more work. In the work that Deloitte did, they found actually that productivity increased 34%. So think of that. What you think of as, building relationships taking time, actually you get more work done and it takes less time. But I think another reason why we don't do it is we're not clear about what we're trying to solve. Our organizations aren't real clear. And part of that's because they're siloed or because we've stopped daring to look at opportunities. We don't think we can do it. And I want to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And then, of course, I think we've got, the age-old issue of fear. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my identity and my sense of who I am, right? And then there's people who their ego is just so big, they can't think past themselves. And we have trouble with, this is me, that is you. And we're afraid that in collaboration, I'll lose that identity. And actually, I think it strengthens it.
I completely agree. And I always say, I know it's a cliche, but I'm a team player, but I am. I'd rather work with people than work alone because it's strength in numbers.
Isn't that the truth? And you can hear that, Steve, in just the way you talk and the questions that you ask. And that, that's what's interesting. You can almost feel the collaborative people.
Interesting. Yeah, be mindful of that in the future because those are the people you want to work with. So let's say you are a business owner. You're watching, you're listening, you're hearing this word collaboration. You kind of have an idea about what it is. It's important based on what we're talking about. How do you set the framework? How do you begin that?
Great question. So I think of about 5 or 6 things as being critical. The first is choose the right partner. Not everybody is a collaborator, and we have to be willing to admit that. There are people who simply can only gobble up people and spit them out. So don't waste your time there. They're not going to collaborate with you. They're going to compete. They're going to destroy you if they can. So the right partner is when I want to talk a little bit more about that. Setting boundaries so you know what is me, what is them. Creating a collaboration doesn't mean that you lose your identity. Rather, you enrich it and broaden it and make it more firm. And then you look at leveraging each other's resources and expertise and knowledge and relationships for mutual gain. And that's the key word, mutual gain. Mm-hmm. So Steve, if I want to do something and collaborate with you, I have to look at not only how I'm going to benefit, but what am I doing to help you benefit? And how will it grow what you're doing? We get the first part of that equation sometimes, which is the money part. I'll make sure you get some money, some remuneration out of this. But is that really your goal? What is it you're trying to achieve? And so we need to go past those surface level things that we tend to look at. The fourth thing is when we collaborate, we widen our view and we begin to see opportunities. And this is huge. And this is something that is really important in the collaborative process that I put together for companies, because you move far beyond what it is that you could do by yourself. And then you need to commit to a collaborative process. So those are the basic components. Visit our website at www.startwithcollaboration.com. We're eager to help you with the challenges that you face today. There are many, and although there's challenges, there are opportunities. It's knowing how to look for them.